Hi, my name is Oliver, and in this tutorial I will show you how to use the TICKpy container for the MICA. So first of all, we want to log into our MICA. Okay, so here is our typical MICA home screen, and for this demonstration I'm using MICA Energy with the firmware version 1.6. Okay, let's start. So first of all, we need to install the container. Therefore, we go to install, change the name to, for example, TICKpy, and then we select the file. Here we go, this is the current version of the TICKpy container. And click install. Okay, now that we installed the container, it shows up in our home screen. And as you can see, it's not activated yet. So the first thing we want to do is to go on the container, doing a right click, then going to options, and then details. Then we see some information about the container, like the container version number and the build date. And we also see the network configuration of the container. So depending on your setup, you could leave the IP version 6 linked local address. But for this demonstration and for my current network setting here, I will use a IP version 4 address that I will manually assign. So therefore go to static and then type in the address, the net mask, as well as the gateway. Make sure that you also activate the settings. And if done correctly, then we can go back to the home screen. Okay, so let's start the container. Right click on the app and then say Start App. Okay, as we now can see, the container lights up, so it actually started. Now let's have a look at the user interface provided by the container. So let's click on it. We can see that the container user interface is divided into two sections. So there's the upper section, the dashboard, and the lower section, the configurations. The dashboard, which we will cover in a separate tutorial, is available for all MICA user roles. So if you're logged in as user, as container admin, or as admin, you will always see the dashboard section. And the configuration section is exclusively available for the container admin and the admin. And the configuration tab or the section includes control over all the services that are included in the container. And for each service, we have the option to switch on and off the service. So it would internally start or stop the service. Then we can also click on here and we get more options, so we can exchange the configurations file for the service. So we can download the configuration, modify it, and then upload it again. And we can also have a look at the log files. from the container and from the service actually. Yeah. Okay, and the actual services provided are the so-called TICK stack, which is part of the influx data ecosystem. And this ecosystem basically includes a number of components, namely telegraph, the influx DB, chronograph, and the capacitor. And they are designed to work very well together. So in detail, the telegraph is basically a kind of routing engine. So it allows to connect external components with the influx database, and thereby you basically configure a plugin, which we will see later in a separate section, where we will connect an MQTT broker as input to our influx database, and therefore we will use Telegraph and its plugin framework. The second one is the influx database. This is a high-performance time series database, and basically every information gets stored in that database. The third component is chronograph, and chronograph is our is basically our dashboard. So we will have a closer look at chronograph in a separate tutorial. And chronograph allows us to basically manage our ecosystem and also to create dashboards, alerts, and pretty much almost everything we want to configure we can do within chronograph. And last but not least, we have capacitor, and capacitor is our streaming analytics container or streaming analytics engine. And it allows us to apply analytics to any kind of processing and analytics to the data that is collected in the influx database. Okay, so this is the end of this section. And in the next section, we will have a closer look at the dashboard, which is chronograph. So thanks, and see you in the next tutorial.